My name is Claye Bowler, and this is Top. So the piece that the Arts Council collection acquired was called Top, and it shows 6 years worth of experience and emotion around waiting and getting top surgery. So I'm a sculptor mainly. I kind of work in installation, and that sometimes involves sculpture but also works on paper and film performance, also photography, so kind of a bit of everything, but everything feels that it has like a sculptural core to it, I think. I was waiting for top surgery, and then lockdown happened, and then everything stopped happening, and there was kind of this sudden enforced stop, and I think I'd already been waiting for 3 or 4 years, and then it was oh, now there's another. A lot of the things I made originally were taking casts of my body and then giving those casts top surgery, and kind of so that I could astral project into a different place and look at this artwork and be oh, that's me. And when I'm thinking of my body, I can think of this sculpture that I've made instead of the body that I actually have. It's staged as an archive in a way to kind of comment on lots of different things. So it's commenting on the fact that trans and queer people aren't in art collections, and it's also on the fact that data in the NHS is not very well stored or given freely to trans people. So when I changed my gender on the NHS, my record, because of the way that the coding system works, they have to make you a whole new NHS record, and my other record just got deleted. So I'm just a fresh new person, and everything I've ever done has been lost. And I think that's quite a normal thing for trans people, that our information gets lost all the time. And so I think it's kind of creating this archive that's trying to put this physical thing of this happened into that space, but also commenting on the way that how museums and galleries interact with queer and trans people. And a lot of the time it's quite ephemeral one-off events that's one day a year, and a lot of the time they'll get a different curator come in to do that because they don't actually have any queer curators on the board or on the staff team. And so I think it was trying to bypass this idea of the exhibition, the temporary exhibition, by kind of putting the work into a collection and being this has been invested in and put into that space, even though it's not. But now it has been collected. Yeah, there's lots of different ways, but yeah, it was staged in that way, and all of the work was mounted on in how it would be in a store. So it's in crates or on mounts or wrapped up. So there's certain things where you can't see them, or they're distorted because they're kind of behind poly or wrapped in tissue. So I think it's this looking at this impenetrable archive that you kind of want to see it but you can't, or it's not there, but also disguising it, tricking people, kind of people opening the door and thinking they've accidentally walked into the store. So it's lots of many layers to it. I think a lot of the work, I'm making it for young trans people and trans kids, and I think putting on the show that I did, Top, that it's for those people to see that. It's an artwork, but it's for people to be able to look at that work and find information, because that information isn't available online or in the wider world unless you know other trans people. And so it's getting that information to the people that need it as well. I didn't ever think about the work being actually collected. I think I was making this being it's not going to be collected, and so when it was when I did get asked for a price list, I was oh whoa, that's not only a collection, but it's the collection. It's the state's collection. It's the collection that shows this current British artists who are working at the time, and is a representation of the UK, and to put a trans artist and to put a very specific very explicit trans work in that collection is deciding to write that history into the canon, which I think is incredible.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay.